So I thought I'd jump on, film a quick little video, which probably won't be quick and little because it's me and I talk a lot. I thought I'd film a video basically chatting to you about how I lost 5 stone with no exercise. It's not that I'm saying not to exercise, it's just I personally really don't like exercising, so chose not to lose my weight, which took longer, but it suited me. So if you want to know, stick around. Also, I'm going to say it. Everyone's going to hate me, all my friends are going to take the piss when they watch this, but please like and subscribe, because I found out from my analytic things that, is it like 75 or 85% of you aren't subscribed? Anyway, let's jump into it. So when I lived in London, before I had my first pregnancy, I weighed 9 stone. Wasn't happy with this weight. I used to have a really bad body image mentality. I hated anything that was curvy or big. I just wanted to be stick thin. So I never had a really good body image, and I never liked being 9 stone. When I fell pregnant the first time, I had 12 weeks before I miscarried, so I miscarried at 12 weeks pregnant. I decided in those 12 weeks I was going to eat whatever I wanted, get as big as I wanted, because nobody could say anything because I was pregnant. I actually ended up gaining 1 stone and 4 pounds. Don't ask me how I did that. But in 12 weeks, I gained 1 stone and 4 pounds. So after my miscarriage, I weighed 10 stone 4. Then I fell pregnant with Calo, and I really, is it Took the Biscuit? I think it's Took the Biscuit. I really took the biscuit. I mean, I used to eat not a piece of cake during my pregnancy with Calo. I ate the whole cake. I wouldn't have one packet of crisps. I'd probably eat the multi-pack. I wouldn't have 1 round of pudding, I'd had 3. I just went wild and ate whatever I wanted and said I'll deal with the consequences later. Trust me, I'm not doing that again. If I get pregnant again, that's not happening, because it's been hard work. Oh, thank you, my tune. So yeah, never gonna do that again if I get pregnant again. When I had Calo, I birthed Calo, I decided a few days after, even though everybody tells you not to, if you're currently pregnant or you're about to give birth or you have just given birth, don't get on the scales. I decided I was going to get on the scales. I weighed myself. I was 14 stone. I gained 4 stone when I was pregnant with Calo. There's nothing wrong with being 14 stone, but there is when you've gained it over 9 months from just eating shit. So for the first year after having Calo, I accepted that I was 14 stone and just thought, you know what, deal with that later. I've got this bundle of joy, don't give a shit what I look like and what I weigh. I had coffee, cake every day with friends and Calo. I was going to say the baby, but it's Calo. Just didn't really care. But because it wasn't as much as being pregnant, I did actually lose weight over that year. So for my year of my 9 months of maternity leave, and then the few months after that, so for the year after, I actually lost 2 stone, and it must have just come off slowly from just not eating as obsessively and being obscene with the amount I was eating. I wasn't one of these mums though that's like, oh, I must give my baby healthy food while it's inside of me because it's growing. I was like, you're gonna have McDonald's for your breakfast and Burger King for your tea, love. After the year, I decided that enough is enough. I'm gonna get on the scales and see how much I weigh. I weighed myself and I was 12 stone 1, which I wasn't happy with. Still much bigger than, you know, I was before. My goal weight was, I wanted to get to 10 stone, and my ideal shooting for the stars weight was 9 stone. So I knew that I'd already lost 2 stone from just watching more what I ate. Yeah, I was enjoying myself. Yeah, I was going to coffee shops, but I would be more aware. So if I'd had a piece of cake in the day, I would have a lighter lunch. You know, just doing that. Just being sensible and not being silly. So I lost 2 stone doing that. Then because I wasn't losing any more weight, I decided it's about time to try my first ever diet. I've never dieted before. I've just never dieted before. So I went to Superdrug, decided to go on to SlimFast. So the way it works is you can either have shakes or bars, or you can have a mixture of both. And the idea is you have a shake, 2 shakes a day, or a shake and a bar a day, or 2 bars a day. Within that, you have 3 snacks, which are 100 calories each, and then you would have a 600 calorie meal. I think it works out, was it about 1200 calories a day or something like that you end up eating, or 1300 calories a day you end up having. When I first started the diet, I just did 2 shakes. So I'd wake up, to give you a breakdown, I'd wake up, I'd make myself a shake with milk, not water, because I know you can do it with both. I had it with milk. I actually use soy milk for mine, unsweetened. I would recommend if you drink normal milk to use either semi-skimmed or what's the red one? Skimmed. Or skimmed milk because, oh, I keep burping. Obviously full fat milk's like more fattening, but also they're very thick, even with like soya milk, like they're very thick shakes. So if you're thinking about trying it, I would definitely use a thinner milk. So I'd have a shake in the morning, then about half an hour after that, I would have a 100-calorie snack. I'd class that as my breakfast. So I'd normally have like a boiled egg with some fried mushrooms, but the fried mushrooms were dry fried, so no oil, with just salt and pepper. I might do some spinach with that as well. Or I'd have an apple or a banana, just anything. You could have a Fibre One brownie bar, because they're 99 calories if you really wanted to, or 90 calories if you really wanted to, as long as it's 100 calories. The shake would really fill you up, and the snack was just something to, you know, munch on, so you weren't just drinking. Then for lunch, I would have another shake, and I would combine my next two snacks. So I would have a 200-calorie snack for my lunch, and that literally consisted of anything. Generally, I would actually eat rice crackers. I really enjoyed rice crackers for a really long time. I used to have cottage cheese on rice crackers, which sounds weird, but I made myself like them, and now I really like it. So I'd have like the salt and vinegar Snacker Jacks, or you can get from B&M like long packs of rice crackers that they do chili flavour and like cheese flavour. I'd have those. You could have soup, like a tin of soup, and I would, instead of bread, I'd use actual crackers, you know, cream crackers. Just make sure that it's 200 calories, eat whatever you want. Then I would get hungry, and that's when I would get hungry after lunch, between then and tea, and I'd have a 600-calorie tea. Before I counted calories, I thought 600 calories sounded like nothing. I thought, oh my God, what am I gonna eat for 600 calories? But actually most meals are 600 calories. If you follow portion sizes, you'll be absolutely fine. 600-calorie meals are plenty to fill you up. And that's coming from a big eater. Like, I eat a lot, I love food. Sometimes, if I wasn't feeling too hungry at lunch, I would separate those two 100-calorie snacks. I'd have a 100-calorie snack for my lunch, and I would actually save 100 calories for a dessert after my tea, and I'd have like a Fibre One brownie bar or anything that was 100 calories. You get even that at low-calorie ice cream now, can't you? Which is actually really nice. You can have like half a tub for like nothing. It's from Morrison's. If you have a look in the freezer section, you'll see it. So yeah, I did that for a long time, just having the two shakes. I probably did that for 2 months, and then I got to the point where I was absolutely sick of the sight of a shake. The smell, the thought of drinking a shake, even now makes me like, because you're just having them so often, you're having them day in, day out, and they're all sweet. Very sweet. If you don't like sweet drinks, you probably won't like SlimFast, because even the bars are sweet. So I moved on to the bars then, and I actually, for a while, I tried to do a shake in the morning and a bar for my lunch, but in the end I got sick of that, so I was having 2 bars a day, which probably wasn't very healthy, because I don't know if you've ever seen the SlimFast bars, but if I demonstrate how big they are, they're like this big. They're about that big. They're like that thick, and it's like a massive chocolate bar, and it's a meal. That's essentially what it is. It's a meal. They're like 237 calories, if I remember rightly. But they're all like chocolate covered or salted caramel. Really yummy, but sweet. So I ended up having those with the snacks, same routine, but switched the shakes for the snack, the bars. I did for a short while during doing SlimFast use the SlimFast snacks that you can buy. You can actually buy SlimFast branded snacks. I've got to admit, personally, I wish I'd never done it. I think they were a waste of money. Not to be horrible to SlimFast, because your diet does work, but they're quite expensive for what they are. So you'd get like a little pack of like sour cream and onion pretzels, which are really nice, really yummy. And you get loads of different ones, but they're quite expensive. Like, you could just go get a packet of crisps a low-calorie packet of crisps and do the same thing, which is a lot cheaper. You'd probably get them from Morrison's. If you've got Morrison's own, you'd probably get a lot cheaper, you know. I'm not going to recommend getting the SlimFast snacks, because I think you can get your own snacks that you probably prefer and more towards what you normally eat anyway, just from your local supermarket. So doing that diet, I've got to admit, I did that for 5 or 6 months. It was a hard slog. Everyone at work used to take the mick at me, because I'd sit there with my little shake or my bar and my rice crackers, and I just lived off rice crackers, and I I've got to admit, I did get hungry. I feel, I shouldn't say that I didn't get hungry, because I did, thinking back, I did, because I remember some meals and my tummy would be grumbling. But you would look forward to your tea. That's what I will say, is that like you would really look forward to your tea, and it made you appreciate your tea. Everything tasted amazing, I think, because you were so hungry. But when you got to your tea time, your meal would really fill you up, because obviously your tummy was shrinking, you weren't needing as much food. I ended up losing, after 6 months on SlimFast, I lost 2 stone, because I was 10 stone. Yeah, I lost 2 stone, or just over. So it was really good. I really believe that you could do it quicker than that as well, because I used to have a cheat day every single week, and when I mean cheat day, I mean cheat day. Like, I'd have a large Domino's pizza with a garlic bread and the chocolate pizza, no word of a lie, and probably the Domino's like fries and wedges and nachos, and I would eat it all. And if I didn't eat it all, I would save it for an hour later when it was cold and eat it then. I think you could do it a lot quicker than what I did it, especially if you were exercising with it. My God, you must lose so much weight if you did SlimFast and exercise. I think I would have passed out. Anyway, I felt like after 6 months, enough was enough. Although I loved doing it and it really worked for me for a long time, I really wanted to go back to eating normal food. I was sick of the bars, I was sick of the shakes, and obviously that's what the diet is. I didn't want to try any other diets, so I decided to go back to normal food. I did have a stint after doing SlimFast of trying Weight Watchers. I don't want to knock Weight Watchers, because for some people, I know it works. Some people lose loads of weight doing Weight Watchers. For me personally, it didn't work. I actually gained 5 pounds doing Weight Watchers for 2 weeks, and yes, I did do it properly, before anybody asks. It was the same for my mum. My mum gained weight too. For just some people, it doesn't work. So I tried Weight Watchers for 2 weeks, I gained 5 pounds, and I said, you know what, I think I'm just gonna go do calorie counting, I'm just gonna give it a go. And I think it was Josh's friend Ben, that he's a personal trainer, he posted a post and it was like a pot of jelly beans and a pot of something else that was like healthy, it was cucumber or something like that. And he was like, the amount of calories in both, of how much you could have of the cucumber and how much you could have the jelly beans in the calorie amount. And it's like, this is why you're putting on weight. Does that make sense? So like, you could have literally 3 cucumbers to the amount of 6 jelly beans, and the cucumber with a pot of hummus is gonna fill you up more than the 6 jelly beans. And I was like, you know what, I'm gonna give calorie counting a go. This is where I would say it goes into not just dieting or quickly losing weight. This is a lifestyle for me. I'm probably going, I want to do this for as long as I possibly can. I've been doing it for over, what are we doing it, 8 months now, something like that. And I feel like this is something that you watching this could do starting right this second, when you go make your cup of tea or whatever. So I downloaded my Fitness Pal. I don't know if you can see it on here. You can't. It's this app. Oh, you can't see it from there either. But it's called My Fitness Pal. If you go on the App Store, you'll see it. It's a blue box with like a silhouette of a woman. Like, it's a white silhouette of a woman jumping in it. And you basically log your food on there and it shows you how many calories you're eating. But when you set it up, you can set how many calories you want to eat a day. I searched and did a bit of research, and 1,200 calories a day is a healthy amount where you're eating enough calories to not be ill, but it's you slowly lose weight or maintain. Some people will just maintain on 1,200 calories their weight. So 1,200 calories is what I now eat a day, every single day. I'll have 1 or 2 cheat days a week as well, where I just eat what I want. Sometimes I'll log my diet, my cheat days, and sometimes I won't. It just depends what mood I'm in. I log everything from the spread of butter I had to the amount of ketchup I used, but I don't log any of my drinks, apart from if it was like a treat drink, like hot chocolate. Follow me. I just find that that works for me. It sounds like logging butter would take a lot of work, but it really doesn't. If you've got like kitchen scales, just put your piece of bread on it and put a dollop of butter on it, and you know how many grams you've put on it, and then you just put that in your app. So I basically log all my food all day, every day, and I try and maintain and keep within my 1,200 calories. As obviously the app adds them up so you can see when you go over. It's really good as well because you can scroll back and forward. So if you know on Friday you're gonna have a curry, say put your curry in on the Friday, even if you're on Monday, because then you know at the end of the week you could make up the calories. That's sometimes what I would do. It's really good if you go over your calories, you can see how many you're going over by. You could even, this is what I do when I first started, you could even use MyFitnessPal, log in your normal calories. So don't eat any different to what you normally do. Just log what you're normally eating and see how many calories you're actually eating a day. When I logged it, I was shocked. I was taken aback. I was eating so many calories over what I should be. I remember I used to get up and have a cup of tea, and then for lunch, I'd skip my breakfast, and for my lunch, I would have 2 pieces of toast with butter and beans on, half a tin of beans. Well, half a tin of beans is 184 calories, and I have 2 slices of normal bread, which could be anywhere from like 150 calories. Then I'd have butter. 30 grams of butter is, how many is it? 60 odd calories? No, 100 odd. No, because it's 60 odd. I've got it in my phone. It's a lot. It's a lot of calories just for my lunch. And then I would go on to get to work, and for my lunch, like later on, like lunch, you know, lunch, early tea, I'd have a wrap because I was hungry, and that would be a sweet potato wrap, and I would think, oh, it's only sweet potato in a wrap. You've got to think all these calories around up. Then I'd get home and have tea, and then I might have hot chocolate and a dessert. They all were adding up. So it's a really good way, if you wanted to start using it, is just to see how many calories you're eating a day and see where you can make adjustments. Some of the major adjustments I made were I cut out normal size bread for baby bread. We call it baby bread, you know, like small pieces. They're like 55 calories if you get the whole meat. What?
Toasty loaves. Yeah,
toasty loaves. They're called toasty loaves. But they're like, the wholemeal bread is like, they're like hot, 3/4 of the size, something like that. Okay, if you get the wholemeal bread, it's 55 calories per slice. The white one's 70 calories per slice, so it's a lot less. Switch to lighter butter instead of full fat butter. So I use Clover lighter. You could switch your milk. So if you use full fat milk, I don't personally switch my milk, so I just drink the same milk as I always have. Oh, I switched sugar for sweetener. So I made 3 major changes: my butter, my bread, and my sugar. For you, it might be something completely different because you might not necessarily drink a lot of tea, so you wouldn't need to switch, but I do. I drink a lot of tea and coffee. So after watching my calorie counting for 6 months, I ended up losing another stone, which brings us to the grand total of a 5 stone weight loss. I now weigh 9 stone 5-ish. But I always say it's around 9 stone because some days you could go on the scales and it's like 9 stone 2, and then a day later, once you've had a poo, you can go up to like 9 stone, and then if you haven't had a poo, it'll be like 9 stone 5, or you know, or more. Around there. I've been talking that long, my camera just cut me off, but I'm between like 9 stone and 9 stone 5 now, which I'm super happy with. Just to quickly touch on, I don't want to take up everybody's time too much, but to touch on something, actually, just to round that bit off first before I go into this. So I lost 2 stone watching what I eat but not calorie counting, 2 stone on SlimFast, and a stone on just calorie counting. I definitely think the most effective is SlimFast. That diet worked really well, really quickly, and suited my lifestyle. If you've got any questions, leave them in the comments about that SlimFast, because I might have missed stuff out and I'll answer them. Calorie counting is definitely the most suitable to live with as a lifestyle. And just watching what you eat, I think, is just really good if you're happy where you are and how much you weigh. If you don't feel the need, you probably won't be watching this video. Well, you might do. You might just like hearing me talk. I don't know why you would, but you might do. But generally, I think if you're happy with your weight and you don't feel like you need to lose any weight, then you could just watch what you eat to just maintain where you are. But to go back to what I was just going to say, so I weigh 9 stone, between 9 stone and 9 stone 5, and I am at the happiest I've ever been with my body. And it's not what's on the scales. I'm telling you now, it is not what's on the scales. It's literally what was in my head. I saw a meme not that long ago, and it was like, the problem's not with your thighs, the problem's with your head. And it's so accurate. When I was 9 stone before I got pregnant first, I used to refer to myself as fat. I hate that word, but I did. I used to refer to myself as fat. A big girl. I wore big oversized clothing wherever I went. I'd cover my hips and my bum, my boob, everything. I would cover everything with oversized shirts and baggy jeans. I think it was only 1 or 2 days that I may, or if I was going out sometimes, I might have felt a little bit more confident and might have wore a little not tank top that showed my belly, but like tucked in a little strappy top in jeans and some boot heels. I might have felt a bit cute, but generally on day to day, I was not a confident person within my own body. And I weighed the exact same then as I do now. Today, I will rock out there with no clothes on if you want me to. I do not give a shit. I wear shapewear every single day near enough. I haven't got it on right now, but I wear shapewear near enough every single day. If you have me on Instagram, I've got my shapewear on. For there's a fashion post, there's shapewear underneath those clothes. I feel like it sucks me in and it makes me feel great. Smooths my curves. and it makes me feel great, but I don't wear that shapewear because I'm ashamed of my body. I genuinely believe over the past, especially the past year, I've had a massive transformation on how I think about weight and bodies and the way people perceive me and I perceive others. The body positivity movement that's happening at the moment within social media and the media in general, I think is incredible. You're seeing more plus size, I hate even saying plus size, but more plus sized women, more midweight women, all over magazines and on ASOS and, you know, all those sort of shops, which is something we would never have seen before. There's nothing wrong with being in size 6 clothes, and there's nothing wrong with being in size 16 clothes as long as you're comfortable. And I think that was something that I had to understand in my own head, because I used to think if I was anything other than size 8 or 10, it was undesirable. Whereas now, honestly, I could not give a shit. Could not give a shit, because in one shop you could be size 8 and in another shop you'd be size 14. They don't match anyway, so what's it matter? It's all within your own head and whether you feel happy within your own body. So I do want to say, and the reason I've mentioned that is because I always think videos like this, it's like, it almost sounds like you're trying to promote losing weight, and I'm not. This is here as if you want to lose weight, this is how I did it, it might work for you. But if you're happy within your own skin, who gives a fuck? Who gives a fuck what the scales say? If anything, chuck your scales out, because I want to chuck mine out, but I'm not mentally there yet. But if you feel ready to chuck out those scales, you chuck out those scales, because it should just be about how you feel within yourself. And I'm a real big advocate for that now, and I'm really trying to filter my Instagram with women of all shapes and sizes, not just the desirable that was in my head of size 8. I have women that would probably be thinner than size 8, and I have women that are bigger than size 8, and they're all beautiful in their all own ways. And not to get too deep, but yeah, I just really want to promote that, because although I feel more confident now I've lost weight, that's just because this is the weight I feel comfortable in. It's not because I think other people will find me sexier now I'm thinner. Does that make sense? Yeah, so that's my weight loss video. I hope it was fairly interesting. I know I babbled on a lot. I actually re-recorded the intro about 6 times because I babbled too much. But I'm going to leave it here. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was interesting. I hope it helped you in some way. And if you do need any help then, or any advice on tips and tricks, if I can help, I will. Drop your comments in the bottom and I'll reply.